need to be heard really reliably. So I'm going to play a recording of that exact scenario with a 5.1 setup. And you're going to hear exactly what the raw microphone input hears on Kinect. And you're going to hear how hard it is to understand the voice commands. I'm going to show you how challenging that scenario is. So you could barely make out the voice commands there. I'm going to play the exact same recording again, this time with our audio processing turned on, which leverages the full microphone array.
Squad, move left. Delta Squad, take cover. Order cover on my right. Rally to checkpoint Bravo.
So you can hear how we've filtered out all of the room noise, all of the game soundtrack, and you can hear just what the player in the room is saying. So those are the eyes and ears. Now I'm going to show you the platform that we built on top of that raw sensor data and show you what we can do with it as far as understanding the room, who's in it, what they're doing, what they're saying. So I'm going to need another volunteer for this part. Got anyone who wants to get a little active in front of the sensor? Doesn't mind? A little activity? No volunteers? Shirley, can I get you out? So I'm going to turn on skeletal tracking. We had skeletal tracking with the initial version of Kinect. We've made that high definition as well. 25 joints. You can see a lot more subtle movement in Shirley here. You can see even a lean in her spine, a shrug in her shoulders. You can see her thumbs and her fingertips. You can see as she's rotating her hands, you can see her thumbs move around. So a lot more fidelity of movement, even analog movement. Before with original Kinect we had gesture detection. Now we can see real analog and subtle movement in gameplay. On top of skeletal tracking, we can even see the rotation of your body parts. So as Shirley's twisting her legs, twisting her arms, this we call Blackman. You can see Blackman following along, showing all of that rotation in her body parts. Even her head orientation. So as she looks around the room, you can see that Blackman's following along, sees exactly where she's looking. This is great for understanding if you're issuing a voice command, at the TV or versus you're just having a conversation with someone next to you on the couch. On top of skeleton and orientation, we combine a physics model to really understand more around movement and forces and muscles. So we call this muscle man, or muscle woman in this case. And you're seeing the subtle movements here represented in forces. So as Shirley's shifting her weight from one leg to the other, you can see that leg turning red, showing there's more force going through that leg. If I get you to take a jump. As Shirley's midair, she's all green, her body's unloaded, there's no forces. When she lands, her legs turn red again. If I get you to do a squat. The bulging in her legs is showing the torque that's being applied through those joints. And then take a couple jabs at the TV screen. We can see force of movement. Those white circles show how much force is being applied. If you put your back into it, transfer your weight, you see we get a much bigger circle. We're seeing the weight transfer going into the punch. Now this is great for fitness and exercise experiences. Also helpful for those experiences is understanding heart rate. So if I can get you to stand still in front of the sensor for a moment, we use the color feed and the IR feed to see micro fluctuations in blood flow in the face. And we can actually measure heart rate through those fluctuations. And so you can see right now we're locking on to Shirley's heart rate through that vision. Not visible to the human eye, but visible to the sensor. And then finally what we call player info. We understand who's in the room. We also understand their current mood or expression. We can see when Shirley goes from neutral to happy. We can also see when she's engaged with the system, looking forward at the TV versus maybe having a conversation with someone else or checking her phone. It'll go to no, unengaged. I'll also hand Shirley a controller here. I'm going to jump in as well with a controller. So it sees that Shirley's holding controller 2. He knows that I'm Scott. I've been in the system before. Oops, my controller seems to have gone to sleep. So we'll do this with just one controller. We've lost both controllers. Plug this in, excuse the cords. Oops. So I'm holding controller 1. Can I hand that over to you, Shirley? So we can see that now Shirley's holding the controller. She can hand it back. So we can see who's in the room, which controller they're holding, if you want to switch places with me. We can even see where they are in the room. So you can imagine a multiplayer gaming scenario where Shirley's playing a game, I want to join in. I don't have to sign in, it already knows who I am. It doesn't have to ask me what controller I'm holding, it can already see what controller I'm holding. And it can even split screen the game relative to where I'm sitting on the sofa. So I can jump into fun with minimal distraction. Okay, thank you so much.